The board did meet in closed session and had a settlement agreement with the California Schools Employees Association. The board approved the settlement agreement unanimously. At this time, I would like to introduce our new school board member. She's our student board member. Her name is Shade Zinder. Got it right, huh? Thank you. She'll be working with us all this year, and we're glad to have you, and we wish you the best, and enjoy the ride. So at this time, we would like everybody to stand, and Shade will lead us in the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we'll take a little time for a moment of silence. Thank you. At this time, our board objective that we're emphasizing tonight is engage in students. And what a better way to start a school year, as we've had all our students come to school this, I guess it's been about 10 days, so we're rolling. So we're happy to have them all back, and we wish them all a great year. That brings us to point one, adoption of agenda. Dr. Moore, any changes?
Yes, we'd like to pull item 9.2. We need a little more time to work on that one.
Okay, 9.2 will be pulled. And number 2, good things. Does anybody have any good things?
I would like to share that last weekend I had an event in town and was able to get all except 2 of my kids in the same place at the same time, which I think last time that happened was 2 years ago. So that was an amazing experience and a wonderful opportunity. So,
thank you, Mr. Ferris. Anybody else? I would say I really enjoyed your retirement party, and it was great to see all the people there, and I got to see some people that I hadn't seen in a long time. They've come back, so very impressive. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, at this time we'll move to 3, approval of minutes of the special and regular meetings of July 16th, 2026. Any changes? Minutes will stand as approved. And at this time we'll go to 4, programs and presentations. Mr. Andreessen.
And as he comes up, I'll just share, we have invited the principals when their school is greeting to come and give a brief presentation, and the prompt is good things. So in keeping with what the board has just shared, we're looking for recent good things to celebrate, and that's what Mr. Andreessen's going to share with us.
All right, thank you very much. First of all, let me thank my ASB team who is here today greeting us. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you being here. Good evening, board members, Superintendent Dr. Moore, members of our district leadership team, and those seated in the audience. It's my pleasure to share a few highlights of the good things that are going on at China Lake Junior High School as we begin the school year. This year, our theme is Rise Up to Excellence. We're using that theme not simply as a slogan, but as a direction for our students and staff. We want our students to show respect, demonstrate integrity, practice safety, and put forth effort. We're prepared for the school year. We have prepared this school year with our leadership team and spent time looking at where China Lake is going and, more importantly, what our students need from us to get there. One of the things that we've introduced that our kids are excited about, and that's a good thing going on, is our student planners. We've introduced those this year. The planners are more than just a place for students to write down homework. They're helping students develop organization, responsibility, and a greater sense of purpose. Our goal, of course, is to develop purpose-driven navigators. At the same time, they provide another avenue for parent communication. We want parents to have a clear window into what students are doing at school and how they can support them. In addition, our students are also doing something new this year, completing academic goal sheets that are helping them take greater ownership of their learning. Students set specific academic goals, identify areas of growth, and regularly monitor their progress throughout the year. Oops, I'm going too far. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Got the wrong slides. I'm a little bit nervous, sorry. So, we are super excited about our new classrooms. And like the slide said, it's like Frosted Flakes, because they're great! And sorry to the nutrition staff, because I know that's probably not on the approved list. So, but the classrooms have allowed us to provide dedicated classroom space for every teacher, including PE, which is a significant improvement for our campus. I want to take a moment to give special and a sincere thank you to our facilities maintenance and technology departments. They pushed hard to make sure that these classrooms were ready for our students and staff at the start of the school year, and their work behind the scenes made a tremendous difference, and we truly appreciate their commitment to making sure our campus was ready to go. There we go. We have also implemented a new lunch routine where what we found is that we had a lot of kids who would not go in to eat lunch. They would just, as soon as the bell rang, they were out playing. So we've dedicated 15 minutes where they have to go to a designated area and sit down. Hopefully that'll encourage them to eat. But we found some unintended benefits of that. Number one is, as we institute the recycle program, that it makes it easier for that because the kids are all kind of there in the same area. And campus is much cleaner because we used to have kids out all over the campus, and trash after school, after lunch was very bad, and it's much, much cleaner now. It is fantastic. One of the other things I'm super excited about is the participation that we've seen from our parents. We had a new student parent orientation where we had a tremendous turnout, and even at our back-to-school night, what happened just this week, we also had a tremendous turnout, and I'm glad that that happened because I had to have this slide in prior to our back-to-school night. So my parents proved me right by showing up and having a great turnout for our back-to-school night. Athletics are also getting underway. We have students participating in volleyball tryouts, and our cross-country program is already practicing, and as always, we are partnering with other schools in the district to provide those opportunities to all SSUSD students. The enthusiasm from our students has been fantastic. They are excited to participate and represent China Lake and be community contributors. It is also our first year of bringing sixth graders onto the junior high campus. And that transition represents a significant change for our students, our families, and our staff. But I've been extremely impressed by how our students have responded. They are stepping up to the challenge and have hit the ground running. They are learning new routines, navigating a new environment, and meeting new expectations, and beginning an important new chapter in their education. And they are doing exactly what we have asked them to do: rise up. As I look at China Lake right now, I see a school that is moving forward. Our work this year is more than academics. It's about helping students develop the skills, character, confidence, and purpose they will need to be innovative problem solvers long after they leave China Lake Junior High. That is what Rise Up to Excellence means to us. And this year, we are going to rise up to excellence together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Andreessen. You know, Mr. Andreessen, I got to tell you, your graduation might have been the quickest and efficient graduation I've ever been to at a junior high last year. That thing moved, I think we did that in about an hour. So thank you, that was impressive. I never got the time to tell you thank you, so thank you so much. 5, public hearing. We don't have anything for public hearing today, so we're going to go to 6, reports and communication, 6.1, and Shade.
Okay. All right, so for all of the reports, so from Buick STEM Academy, Buick has started the school year strong, with students, staff, and families already demonstrating the collaboration and enthusiasm that make our schools such a special place. This year has brought tremendous growth, with enrollment increasing by nearly 200 students. While this growth has required significant adjustments to schedules, staffing, and campus logistics, it's also highlighted the strength and the flexibility of their team. This week, their 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students began their Project Lead the Way courses, marking another exciting step forward in their commitment to providing high-quality STEM learning. They're also looking forward to several engaging field trips already in planning stages. Student involvement beyond the classroom is already in full swing as the robotics club has begun preparing for upcoming competitions. Earlier this month, their ice cream social once again brought students and families together, and the ice cream sandwiches were, as always, a huge hit with everyone in attendance. This week, their back-to-school night was a great success, providing families with an opportunity to connect with teachers, learn about classroom expectations, and celebrate the start of the new school year. They're also excited to welcome several new teachers to the Buick family. They've quickly become valuable members of their team and are already making a positive impact on the students and school community. For China Lake Junior High School, they're also off to a great start. Their students have returned excited, energetic, and ready to learn. They had a fantastic turnout for back-to-school night. It was great to see so many parents and families on campus, meeting the teachers and learning more about how they can support their students this year. Their athletic programs are getting underway as well, with volleyball and cross-country both off to a strong start. The programs provide their students with opportunities to build teamwork, confidence, perseverance, and school pride. Most importantly, their new and experienced teachers, along with their dedicated classified staff, are working hard every day to support their students and help them succeed. For Mesquite Continuation High School, so for all ed, both of them, both high schools are in full swing as students are wrapping up their second full week after various orientations over the last 2 weeks. Victory Baptist Church is sponsoring a student club on campus to ensure that their high percentage of socioeconomically disadvantaged students at both campuses have the opportunity to engage with one another and the community through service projects. At Mesquite Continuation High School, Mr. Lusher is already beginning the after-school intervention period to ensure students have additional support outside of the school day to make it to graduation. Mrs. Jung is the new licensed clinical social worker who joined this year from the county office to help all of the students get connected to resources and be able to make it to school with the support they need. From High Desert High School, students have 2 new subject matter experts and additional support staff as the school has grown by 30% this year, and the students are excited to engage in the visit with astronaut Victor Glover next week, which may be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And then from middle college, students began the Saracoso Community College courses next semester, and they got the opportunity to explore the campus even before it is open for the standard semester. For Burroughs, the Burroughs are back for the 2026 to 2027 school year. Everyone is excited for another fantastic year. Our dedicated Link crew leaders met multiple times over the summer for training and hosted freshman orientation on August 3rd. As always, we had volunteers from varying grade levels to lead games and informational sessions to help incoming freshmen transition to the high school experience. August 6th was the official first day of school, consisting of students collecting their locker schedule and temporary IDs. The day after, we had our green and white football scrimmage, which went great. We also had our first Spirit Day of the year, which was Aloha My Name Is, where students participated by wearing Hawaiian shirts, leis, and name tags. Finally, all of this coincided with our annual kickback hosted by ASB, which was a night full of games, snacks, music, and fantastic memories that'll last years. Official Powder Puff signups have started as our school prepares for its annual Powder Puff game. All of our fall teams, such as football, cross-country, volleyball, cheer, and girls tennis, worked hard over the summer, attending various camps and summer practices to ensure their success for the upcoming season. So far, Burroughs has hosted 2 volleyball games, 1 tennis match, and we are hosting Tehachapi on Friday night for football. Friday morning, we will hold our first mini rally to celebrate all of our fall sports, band, and color guard. Last week, the administration conducted the all-class assemblies to remind students of school rules and expectations. School pictures also took place with everyone looking amazing, especially the seniors who wore Hawaiian shirts to carry on the Burroughs tradition. Auditions for our fall play took place this week as well, and we are looking forward to seeing our students perform on stage soon. Lastly, our back to school night, which was last night, was a huge success. The choir, madrigals, orchestra, and symphonic orchestra all performed beautifully, and parents enjoyed meeting their students' teachers. Burroughs has a lot of amazing activities, and we hope that they will continue in the future, as they should. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shay, and welcome aboard. At this time, we'll go to 6.2 reports from the members of the board. And I'd like to say a few words as we get started here, as we start the new year. And I have enjoyed the beginning of the year visiting many of our campuses. I know there has been many conversations with staff engaging with parents of their students. We as a board take seriously the objectives of engaging in students, staff, and community. We are elected decision makers who care about the public education and want it to be the best we can possibly make it. I know things are never perfect, but I trust that we as a board can work through many different challenges that come upon us. I ask the board to continue to help me be accountable towards our objectives and emphasizing our portrait of a graduate to our staff, students, and community. So, thank you. Anybody else? Yes, Mr. Johnson?
Once again, I'd like to thank all the participants at Back to School Night. It was great to go out and see. I went to Pierce and saw their awesome choir sing in the cafeteria, and then had an opportunity to go to China Lake Junior High, into the high school. Both great turnouts there, and it was nice to see the engaged students as ambassadors helping parents find their classrooms, which was always good to see the students on campus. One thing I'd like to highlight is when I first got on board, again, back in April, as I drove around town, I noticed e-bikes and e-scooters are becoming a huge concern for me and the safety of everybody. During one of our first board meetings, I asked to add that as an agenda item, just to kind of figure out what the districts are doing. After that, the district made a new policy in AR, or administrative regulation, to update for the scooters and e-bike policy. And it's great that tonight, Dr. Moore is going to showcase the video that was produced by the district and by the city. I'd like to thank Mayor Endicott, Chief Issett, and everybody else that put that video together, because it's got a huge impact. And more importantly, the kids, but the parents in town and people driving, you know, watch out for kids on their scooters and bikes, because they're truly not watching out for you. So we've already had a student this week that was injured that collided with a car. So I just want to make sure that we don't have any more of those the rest of the year. So thank you, everybody who participated in that, and I look forward to watching the video tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
I think all of us attended a few of the back-to-school nights. It's always a fun time of the year and a busy time of the year. But it's nice to see all the new students and teachers in the classrooms. Classrooms always just amaze me, all the work that goes into them. On a side note, I recently finally completed my bus driving training. I did that, just I know during flu season, we always have people calling in sick, and we'd get the emails that we didn't have enough bus drivers to get students to school. So it's my goal to, when they have those emergency situations, to be a volunteer bus driver. Obviously, don't want to take food off of the table to anyone. I'm just there as a volunteer to help out on those situations where we're so shorthanded, we don't have enough drivers. So I'd say it was fun. It wasn't. So.
You know, I hear that's not an easy task to accomplish.
Parallel parking a 40-foot bus?
I'm telling you,
Yeah, no, it's,
impressive.
yeah, no, it's, I'll tell you what. Oh.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Anybody else?
So you don't have spit wads in the back of your head?
Not yet.
You're all good? Okay.
But, yeah, I went with another driver on the run when I
know,
finished it
I wouldn't
last
imagine
week,
I
so
would do that too.
it was a long day.
Yeah,
So.
I bet. As far as the back-to-school nights, there are always, it's nerve-wracking, and when you're, at least it was for me when I was teaching, and all the parents are there, and you're telling them your expectations and what the kids have to look forward to, and so kudos to the teachers for doing that, because it's just another evening, a long day. It's a very long day, and once that's over, it's a nice relief to get that done. And then I also like to say that the campuses, I was just taking note that they're like really crystal clean. They were really nice. Mesquite was really clean, and even though the wind came up, and you always have the circle of stuff that ends up in that corner. It did not at all. It was like, everything was all picked up really nice, and campuses look great. So it makes you want to get back in that classroom, right? No. Anyways, but yeah, very nice.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. Anybody else? I will say that the schools are in great shape, and it's just amazing what teachers do in the classrooms. I go to those classrooms, and it's just amazing how they decorate. I have no ability to decorate, classrooms. I just put posters up when I was teaching. It was just trying to get through it. So we'll move on, and at time we'll go to 6.3, Superintendent's Report. Dr. Moore.
Thank you, President Campbell. So we left off last school year with our month 10 enrollment was 4591. And as of yesterday, which was the 10th day of school, we were at 4736. And I know we're always watching our enrollment. So that is up 145 from where we ended last year, and very much what we were expecting. And the attendance and numbers are changing daily as students and families confirm the school. Some are still enrolling as they're catching up or we're out of town. And so we are watching those carefully and excited to see everyone coming back. So as mentioned, we have launched the school year. We welcome Shade to the dais here. We're glad that you're here. I've enjoyed meeting with Shade to review our meeting protocols and answer her very thoughtful questions, and ensure we're ready to lead forward together. And so as I think about the board objective, and Mr. Campbell introduced tonight's focus as engaged students, our student board member is an important part of that, representing student voice here on the dais as we're looking and making decisions. So welcome, and I'd like to share a little bit more, but it's hard to replicate that first day of school energy, and so instead of trying to relay that myself, I'll invite you to watch this video.
Same old shoes by the door, but I'm stepping out new. Last year left some marks, now I'm making my move. Cold air on my face and the day feels clean. I'm not dragging the weight, I'm chasing the dream. One more turn, then I let it go. One deep breath and I'm in the flow. Here comes the new year, I'm starting fresh. Here comes the new year, I'm doing my best. No looking back now, no need to fear. We are rich crest and a brand new year is here. Old plans in the drawer, I'm ripping them out. I've got room in my hands for a better now. Every scar I wore made the story real, but I'm not made to stay, I'm made to heal. One more step and I'm through the door. What was heavy ain't heavy no more. Here comes the new year, I'm starting fresh. Here comes the new year, I'm doing my best. No looking back now, no need to fear. We are rich crest and a brand new year is here. Let it break, let it fall away. I got hope in the light of day. Every crack lets the sunlight in. Watch me rise, watch me begin. Here comes the new year, I'm starting fresh. Here comes the new year, I'm doing my best. I'm wide awake now, I'm finally clear. We are rich crest proud. Sierra Sands, we are here.
All right, so a little taste of the fun and excitement going on across the campus. Our newest event is Party in the Parking Lot, which was a great success for the first such event on a warm, windy July 30th from 6 to 8. So thank you all for joining and engaging. We appreciated the many vendors and community partners who helped to make it a great time. And we saw our smiling students and families, many of them touring the school buses, dancing to the music, enjoying food truck food. And next year's event is already developing with more community partners wanting to engage and to even consolidate their back-to-school events such as backpack giveaways and such. So it's already growing for next year, so we're excited about that. And as Mr. Johnson mentioned, we launched our e-bike and e-scooter safety campaign. Also, this is what we're considering a hard launch starting this week. We did a soft launch in May with a poster, kind of sending people off to summer, making sure we remember the safety pieces, but this is more of the formal pieces that we've been working on. And so I'd love to invite you to help watch this video that we're rolling out to students across the district this week.
Every day, hundreds of Sierra Sand students travel to and from school by e-bike or e-scooter. They offer independence, convenience, and a way to get around the community. But with that freedom comes responsibility.
Together, the Sierra Sands Unified School District and Ridgecrest Police Department are committed to helping every student arrive safely. Our number one priority is the safety of every student. We want students to enjoy riding while making smart decisions that keep themselves and everyone around them safe.
We've seen more e-bikes and e-scooters on our streets than ever before. Most students ride responsibly, but a few unsafe choices can lead to serious injuries.
Not all e-bikes are the same. A Class 1 is pedal assist only, maximum speed of 20 miles per hour. A Class 2 is throttle assist, maximum speed of 20 miles an hour. Class 3 is pedal assist only, maximum assisted speed at 28 miles per hour. California law requires riders to be at least 16 years old to operate a Class 3 e-bike. E-scooters have their own rules and should always be operated safely and responsibly. Knowing what you're riding is the first step towards riding safely.
The most important piece of equipment is not your bike. It's your helmet. A properly fitted helmet greatly reduces the risk of serious head injuries during a crash. Make sure your helmet is fitted snugly and sits on your head level and is buckled every time.
Safe riders make smart choices. They ride one person per bike, keep both hands on the handlebars. They keep their eyes on the road and not on their phones. Avoid wearing headphones or earbuds that prevent you from hearing traffic around you. Obey all stop signs and traffic signals. Yield to pedestrians. Ride predictably. Avoid weaving between vehicles. Slow down around schools, neighborhoods, and crowded sidewalks. Always be aware of your surroundings. The safest rider isn't the fastest rider. It's the one who arrives safely.
Our campuses are busy places. During arrival and dismissal, hundreds of students, parents, buses, and staff all sharing the same space. Please slow down as you approach school, follow staff directions, and walk your bike or scooter where required. These simple actions will help keep everybody safe. Parents play an important role. Talk with your child about safe riding, practice safe routes together, check brakes and tires regularly, make sure bikes and scooters are in good working condition. Remember that good habits begin at home.
Ride responsibly.
Respect others. Follow the law.
Together, we can make every ride a safe ride.
Thank you for helping keep our community safe.
So we appreciate the partnership of the Ridgecrest Police Department in this joint education campaign and the encouragement and direction of the board through policy and administrative regulation 5142.2, our Safe Routes to School program. This week, we hosted the Government Accountability Office from Washington, D.C. On behalf of Congress, they are reviewing the conditions of public schools on military installations. And the GAO is also assessing the Department of War's Public Schools on Military Installations grant program, which has provided funding to address facility condition issues, building China Lake Junior High, Richmond Elementary School, modernizing Burroughs High School, and our plans to provide funding for the Pierce Academy of the Arts replacement as Vuig STEM Academy. So we had a nice group of parents meet with them to share their perspectives of the program, and we're hopeful that this funding continues as we anticipate Vuig being on the list to build the Visual and Performing Arts School, and we can talk more about that because that's a little swap that we're working on with them. But that next list of eligible schools is expected to be published in early 2027, so January, February. We're hopeful that we might be building not only one, but 2 schools, so more to come on that. We've also launched our new before and after school programming through Alevo. We appreciate our parents' patience, as any new program has a few bumps and refinements required along the way. The team has been experiencing phenomenal growth, and in some cases overnight, in a 36-hour period. We had dozens of students join and adding to some wait lists, particularly at Vuig, where the growth has been almost double that we experienced last year. So with that growth, we are working through that. We're excited about the growing interest, actively working with the provider to add staffing, refine protocols for a smoother implementation. Last night, approximately 40 families heard directly from the Chief Operating Officer of Alevo and other staff members as to how staffing, training, and safety protocols have been and are being refined. We particularly appreciated the parents who engaged using our social contract, which we have on our banner here, seeking to listen to understand and address concerns in the appropriate and constructive channels. Our staff will continue to be engaged with the provider staff to ensure that these commitments to student safety and quality programming are met. This morning, I enjoyed connecting at our Coffee with the Superintendent session and appreciate the students, staff, and community members who joined. Our conversations did model our social contract, and we discussed a variety of current and future plans, and several creative solutions came forward that we'll be exploring further, so appreciate that engagement. And I'm looking forward to hosting astronaut Captain Victor Glover for our students on August 27th, and co-hosting the community event with the Ridgecrest Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, Chamber of Commerce, City of Ridgecrest, and China Lake Museum the evening before, which is August 26th, right here at the Kerr-McGee Center. Not in this room, but across the way. This is an exciting opportunity for our students, families, and community to connect with Captain Glover, hear of his accomplishments, including the recent Artemis II mission, and to be inspired. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Moore. As you can see in that first video, it does take a village to run a school system, and at Sierra Sands, there's one person I don't think we've ever really said a whole lot about, and he's the guy that puts all these videos together, and he's our videographer. His name is John Felshon, and he does a tremendous job, and we really do appreciate everything that John's doing. So at this time,
I
go
had a
ahead.
question. Dr. Moore, are those videos available for the public to see, and how would they?
Yes, they are all on our YouTube channel. We are in the process of launching them. So the e-bike one, I think, is hitting social media tomorrow. We wanted a chance to show it in the classes before, kind of gave our thunder, or stole our thunder. But yes, I think the plan to launch the e-bike on social media tomorrow, but everything is currently posted on YouTube and accessible to anyone.
Okay, at this time, we'll go to 6.4, report to the Board of Trustees by the Desert Area Teachers Association. Cheyenne, good evening. Take your time.
All right, let's see if I can get this right. Good evening, Dr. Moore, Dr. Savko, Shade, members of the board, and community and colleagues. Hello. We're off to a really great year. You guys have pretty much stolen all the good things I was going to share, but I will just reiterate that I've been really loving seeing kids and adults super excited to return to school. And I also want to reiterate how impressive all these classrooms are, all the time, the money that the teachers put into this. Phenomenal. I love looking at all the classrooms. As we move forward in the school year, I'm really looking forward to working with you guys to best serve our students and our teachers. And lastly, I just wanted to ask you all to support Prop 3 this upcoming November. That's the continuing funding that if we lose it,
I just checked the CTA site, they have kind of an estimated loss. And before it was 7.6 million that our district would lose, and right now they have us at 21.6 that we would lose. And that's annually, so asking for your guys' support, maybe teaming up. We have some plans to get the word out in town, but the more the merrier. Would love for that, because that's a big chunk of money that we would lose. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cheyenne. We're at a 6.5 report to the Board of Trustees by the California Schools Employees Association. Sylvia, how are you this evening? Exhausted. It is a little warm out there.
Huh?
It is a little warm out there.
Yes. Thankfully, I'm not outside too often, but I do want to say welcome, everyone. I love the video with the helmets. I have been known at Fowler as the helmet queen, and have gotten into arguments. Well, no, I've been cussed out by parents because I've taken their child's scooter or bike because they didn't have a helmet. And so I'm really glad to see more of that awareness being made, and hopefully parents will be welcoming to it, better than some that I've dealt with. But welcome back to a new school year. I recently had the opportunity to attend CSEA's 100th annual conference over the summer. Being surrounded by classified employees from across California was both inspiring and eye-opening. There were several things said at the conference that really stayed with me. One was, CSEA classified staff are the backbone of school districts. Another was, we have always faced districts giving our work away, and perhaps the one that resonated the most was, not certificated means expendable. Those words hit home because classified employees know what it feels like to be asked to do more with less, more responsibilities, more students, more expectations, while trying to make sure our schools continue to function every single day. We are the people cleaning the classrooms and buses, maintaining facilities, preparing food, transporting students, supporting classrooms, answering phones, handling paperwork, and doing countless jobs that often go unnoticed. And sometimes, because our jobs aren't considered certificated, our work can be treated as though it is less valuable. It isn't. Our work matters, and our employees matter. At our first chapter meeting last week, our members brought forward several concerns that I feel need to be addressed. One major concern is cleaning and chemical safety. Employees are being given different answers about the products that they can use and cannot use. For example, there have been questions about what the custodians can use to clean the cameras. Employees were told that Dawn dish soap could be used, and then later told that using it could possibly be considered having contraband. That kind of conflicting information creates confusion for employees who are simply trying to do their jobs correctly. Our custodians also have concerns about the gloves they are being provided. Employees are reporting that gloves are breaking down and falling apart when being used with chemicals that they use to clean. We need to make sure that our employees have the proper protective equipment for the chemicals they are expected to use. We also need to have clear direction regarding bus disinfecting products. What exactly are employees supposed to use? And are we using products that are safe for the buses and the employees? What can they do if a student throws up on a bus? A bus driver should not have to ride around with students on the bus with vomit for over an hour without being able to clean it because they don't have anything they can clean on the bus. We have concerns about the products that are currently being used that are discoloring the floors. These may sound like small issues, but they aren't small to employees who are handling these products every day. The other major issue we discussed was negotiations and compensation. Our classified employees understand the cost of insurance is increasing, but they are very concerned about what that means for their take-home pay. Some of our employees are already working more than one job just to make ends meet. Imagine being told that you may receive a small increase in pay only to have that entire increase or even more taken away by rising insurance costs. You don't know that doesn't feel like a raise, more like a slap in the face. Our employees are worried about being stuck between two choices: no meaningful increase in pay while insurance costs rise, or a minimal increase that doesn't even cover the increased costs of their benefits. And we have to recognize how we got here. For many years, our pay scale did not keep up with the cost of living. We haven't consistently received increases across our pay scale that reflect those rising costs. Instead, only minimum wage was increased, while our classified salary remained the same. The rest of the classified salary remained the same. The result is a collapsed pay scale that now needs significant work. This isn't just about asking for more money, it's about recognizing the value of the people who keep this district running. If we want to attract and retain qualified, classified employees, we have to make sure that those employees can afford to stay. We shouldn't have employees looking at other jobs because they can no longer afford to work here. We shouldn't have employees working 2 or 3 jobs just to pay their bills. I'm asking the board to not just listen to CSA leadership, but to employees during the work that do the work every day. Let's address the safety concerns with cleaning products and protective equipment. Let's provide clear, consistent directions to our employees, and let's take a serious look at our classified salary schedule and what it will take to rebuild it. Because if CSA is truly the backbone of this district, then we need to stop treating the backbone like it's expendable. Our classified employees deserve to be valued, not just with words, but with safe working conditions, fair compensation, and meaningful investment in the people who serve our students every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia. At this time, we'll go to item 6, communications from the public. And at this time, members of the public may address the board on an item not on the agenda. Comments should relate to items of public interest within the board's jurisdiction. The law prohibits the board from taking action on items not on the agenda. If appropriate, your comments will be referred to staff for response. When addressing the board, please state your name and limit your remarks to 3 minutes. In accordance with board bylaws, the board will limit the total time to public input to 30 minutes. Those wishing to address the board beyond the 30 minutes time limit may do so at the end of the scheduling meeting, and we ask that you please follow our social contract. So we'll open public comment at 6:41.
Hello, Superintendent, Deputy Superintendent, President, Vice President, School Board, student, school board member. My name is Travis Endicott. So I'm back to talk about youth athletics. As I was growing up, my dad always made the statement that if you can help somebody, help them. There wasn't a time where we were going to church, out on our farm, seeing someone broke down, we would stop what we're doing, we go help them. That means give them a ride, help them change a tire, right? As I was on my way here,
Okay, excuse me, Mr. Endicott, this is an agenda item tonight. It's going to be under 7.1, and if you would like to address.
I'll wait.
Yeah, if you would like to address us during
Okay.
that time, we'd love to hear from you.
Then I'm gonna talk about a good thing.
Okay, great.
Okay.
We'd love to hear good things.
I got to go to the first tennis match for the girls.
Oh, nice.
It's fantastic. They got the win. I did not dress appropriately. I was in pants. If we could do something about shade or potentially some type of covering for those athletes, I think that would do wonders. I understand having those the green dividers up around the courts help. It's difficult for viewers to be able to watch the games like right at the court. So I'm sure that there's a reason why those are up, but if we can do something to provide some sort of shade for not only the players but the spectators. I try and make my I try to get to all the sport events that I can to show. I mean, most people don't know that I'm the mayor, and so I honestly had 2 people. I'll be done in just a second. I had 2 people come up and say, "Why are people talking to you?" I was like, honestly, I continue to ask myself that question, but thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Sylvia Payanis. I'm here tonight as both a parent and a member of this community to address, it was 2 concerns, but we're going to be talking about facilities. Okay, so only 1 concern. First, I'd like to speak about Alevo and the new after-school program. I understand that transitions take time, and I'm not here to criticize individuals. However, after 11 days, I'm quite disappointed with what my children are experiencing. Last spring, we were told that Alevo was an established company with a strong curriculum and meaningful activities. Unfortunately, this has not been our experience. There's a lot of downtime with very little engagement and ongoing organizational skills, including a lack of materials and supplies that I've seen at my site. In contrast, the previous provider, High Desert Leaping Lizards, had activities, projects, and structure in place from day one. My children were excited to attend. Now they beg me not to go. As a single mother, after-school care is not a luxury, it is a necessity. I need to know my children are safe, engaged, learning, and having a positive experience. Right now, the program is falling short of what families were promised. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Chris Huthmacher, and I have students that go to Vuig. And I don't know what of these concerns I can bring up here, but the first one is communication. So the school's used an app to communicate with us. It's been 10 days. I've received over 50 communications from the school. So this is being used more like social media. Last year, between the 3 schools that my children went to, I could receive 150 to 200 messages between the apps, emails, phone calls, and texts. So that's too many communications. On top of that, although they're trying to push out many communications, we're getting really poor communication in return. Teachers, principals are really good at deflecting questions that you ask them. Examples like when I asked the teacher at Vuig, the principal at Vuig, who do I need to talk to about the nut allergy issue at the school, because there was a misunderstanding that it was nut-free because of an orientation we were given, but then my kid was given peanut butter the next day. We often get answers like, oh, somebody else handles that. And that's the end of the answer. There's no follow-up, this is who you need to contact, or this is what we should do. I got a non-answer from my son's teacher this week when I asked, how is he doing in school? Because my ex is pushing to try and get him into kindergarten, and that was deflected to the principal. People constantly just say, go talk to this person. They don't say why, they don't give you any explanation, they just shuffle you off and give you a non-answer to hope you just stop. You know, when I tried to bring up that the school has tried to change the traffic pattern by asking the PD to change the traffic pattern, and after looking it up, there is municipal code that requires changes in traffic patterns to be reviewed by the traffic engineer of Public Works. So the school can't just make a deal with the police department to do that, right? There's no emergency situation that requires it. I also have children in the after-school program. My 4-year-old has been misplaced twice in the first week of school. And one occasion, I got a call from the office, and I could hear him in the background. They said, where's he supposed to go? And I'm like, after school, nobody's picking him up right now. They moved him over to after school. I came and picked him up, and the after-school program said we had him the whole time, which I know is a lie. We're constantly getting these small lies all the time. The next day I come to pick him up after he's already been misplaced twice, and the person is making jokes, well, did we lose him today, or something to that effect. And it's just really frustrating. I understand when a new program starts, there are going to be small issues, but after hearing the parents last night who talked at the Elevo event, these are not small issues. These are children who are walking away from campus unaccompanied, who didn't check out with the school, who didn't check out with the after-school program, and they're losing 4-year-olds. So,
Thank you.
thanks.
Okay, so no other public comment. We'll close public comment at 6:48. And we'll move on to 7, Policy Review Committee. Dr. Moore, approval of updated board policies and administrative regulations. Dr. Moore.
Thank you, President Campbell. So as the board has a standing committee that committee reviewed a number of policies that are required and some that are optional, but many of them are required for the beginning of the school year. And one of those that is also before us, and I think we have a couple of comments that may come forward, is the fee structure for facilities use. And so as we've been implementing and meeting with various community groups and discussion and also connecting with legal, our staff has identified that not only do we need the policy and the administrative regulation, but we need an actual board-adopted fee schedule, so there is absolute clarity with what those fees are and the expectations, and there's no question, so staff can then clearly implement that intention. So the policies are in front of you. We're happy to answer any questions that you may have. I think that one in particular may be worth addressing in comment. And I'll just say this, the fee structure is absolutely in keeping with the original board workshop we had before we approved the policy and the regulation. And so they're all in alignment. This is just the last piece of that will help staff fully implement the plan as identified. But happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the, do we have a motion?
Move the recommended action.
We have a second?
Second.
Second, do we have any questions from the board?
I do have a question of clarification on the policy regarding facility use. It's my understanding that the intent of that design and that policy is to prevent expenditure of general fund dollars to essentially to support outside organizations and deferring any costs that would come to us by that use so that it doesn't infringe on our classroom and general expenditures. Is that accurate?
Yes, that is accurate. So the Civic Center Act allows us to extend direct costs that we would incur to the organization that is renting or using the facility, and nothing more, right? So there's nothing in addition. And in fact, and I think it might have been captured in the minutes which are attached, the discussion at the board policy committee was such that because of the way it's designed, we won't be getting all of our costs recuperated. It's the bulk of them to the closest we can using the formulas that the state has set out. And so just being very careful on that, but we're certainly not making a penny, and we're probably still losing a penny or two in the process, but it is exactly for that. So in a district where our reality is a structural deficit that we're trying to address, when we want to be able to compensate our staff, our employees to the best of our ability, we don't have extra funds to donate to these wonderful organizations in our community that are helping youth and helping students. We have to first prioritize our students and our staff, and that's really the intent and the board discussion that's led to this point with this particular agenda item. It's because we're trying to do our due diligence and stewardship of the funds that we're given to educate the youth of our community.
I appreciate that clarification, because I think it is important to understand that as an organization, if these facilities are used by other folks, it does create costs to us. And if we don't receive compensation for those costs, then we will then have to take it out of our general fund budget, which means it comes out of the classroom. It comes out of what we pay our staff and our teachers and our classified folks. So to me, I think that's a no-brainer. We don't have the excess of funds to be able to contribute to those organizations, good as they may be. And even though they happen to serve the same clientele we serve, it is a different service and will need to be funded through a different format. So, my opinion.
Thank you, Mr. Ferris. Anybody else? Any questions from staff or community?
I guess I don't have so are we just staying with the pay structure that was and you guys are codifying it now? Is that?
Yeah, it just puts into the code, the exhibit is the actual fees, like the per hour fee, depending on the facility. I think Kim has a copy too to show, but it shows which facility is which cost per hour.
so that's per hour of use.
And then at the second page has other fees that could be added, like custodial if necessary, and otherwise that are more like a one-time cost. But yes, the direct cost or what is a per hour cost of what it costs us, or as close as we can get with the formula to what it costs to operate that particular space.
So my assumption is then that's covering electricity, air conditioning, anything else that it's covering?
Yeah, let me pull up my notes one second. You have it? No, the Q and A. Here we go. We did a full report on that. So there's two parts to the fee, and on the fee structure, you'll see one column is capital direct costs, and that's the ongoing facilities maintenance cost that the state gives, and it's a small amount, but it's because we have to maintain the facilities, and it's all proportional to this time and the space and the overall cost for an annual maintenance. That's the smaller piece, and then the other piece is considered operational costs, and that's the utilities and the other direct costs. Neither of those include staff costs. And so that's where if we need to also add custodial or otherwise, that's the additional $59 an hour, because we have to cover our employee salary, usually overtime, health and welfare, statutory taxes, and all the things so when you think of the direct cost, that's more than what the employee receives in a paycheck, but it's that compensation for an hour of overtime. For that employee group. So that's how it's done, but yes, the fee that she was showing you is specifically direct cost that does not include staffing that we're incurring.
Okay, because I guess I know I'm limited on time, but you're already powering it, right? You don't turn off the air conditioning for the stuff, and electricity goes to it, and I understand paying for the electricity, but is there any type of volunteer method that we could have someone who volunteers and take no pay? I mean, I'm doing that as I coach. I will wash, I will sweep, I will do whatever, make sure everything's locked up as well. Like, is there anything that we can do to offset some of those potential costs? And I get the direct costs. I don't fully understand. I'll have to look at it, I guess, and fully understand how that's realized. I guess my major concern is that for this last season, we were able to go to Trona, and if it's a California state thing, we pay $2,000, whereas we were supposed to pay $32,000 to stay here, and that puts our student athletes, our parents, on the road to Trona and back, which it's tough when you have to wake up early, like myself, to get on base to get to work, but you also want to make sure that those kids are protected. Is there any wiggle room, or is it a set direct cost that this is it from now on?
That is what is up for discussion for the
Okay.
board to take action on, and
Okay.
once that would be set, that would be the standard, the cost that we would be issuing, based on the category of the group that's renting the facility.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Anybody else?
I have a
Discussion,
question.
Mr. Scott?
Where, you saw our figures, how are our amounts compared to what the city charges for the gym next door? Are we similar, are we?
It's about $7,000 less for the city, and the city, their gyms are constantly full. One of our requests was just to use Monroe. Monroe's not being used.
And it's not being powered either.
Okay.
And it's not being air conditioned either. So those direct costs would not otherwise be incurred.
Okay. But, yeah, I mean, Kerr-McGee is cheaper, but it's constantly packed. We can't get in there.
Yeah, no, I never looked at that. I was just
Yep.
curious on the monetary, since this came on out, is,
Yep.
if we're charging $10, are the other options in town $10, or are they, $30? So I was just curious.
Yeah, I know that we've been able to use Emmanuel. They let us use their gym. We're trying to go to church groups to try and find something local, so that we don't have to drive. One of the things that I heard from some parents, why would I send my kid to Trona when I can just drive them down to Lancaster and they'll get better quality? And so we're not only missing out on the overall cost, but we're missing out on players that, if we have to go out of town, I might as well just drive my kid down to Lancaster. So, I mean, twofold for us, and I don't know about the other sports entities that would like to use the facilities.
You know, I guess I have a question. You know, I was told a long time ago that basically, they wanted to use the Monroe gym from basically 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock, about 4 days a week, from about April to the end of summer. And I'm not sure, is that correct? Is that, how many?
I mean, we have a lot of teams. How many? 7 teams.
7 teams?
Yeah, and so if you average about 10, I know some have more. We have a lot of students or student athletes who are in those gyms trying to get instruction.
And what are your players charged to be on a team for, I mean, is there a certain fee that they have to pay to be on the team?
Yeah, it's 600.
So it's $600 to be on the team?
But that was because we were able to get the 2,000
I
at
see.
Toronto.
So it's $600 to be on the team, and then they have to pay costs when they go to tournaments and so forth?
Correct.
So it is, okay.
So-
pays for the tournament cost, they just have to pay for.
Room and board and getting there.
Right.
You know, whatever, but we
Okay.
pay the tournament cost.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Anybody else have anything to say? Oh,
Just a
Sylvia?
comment on
Sure.
that. We traveled to tournaments outside of Ridgecrest and have seen other school districts welcome community travel programs into their facilities. I talked to several of them, and they have never heard of a school district charging that much money. Yes, they charge to use the facilities, but not $32,000. I spoke to several parents at different locations. Down in Long Beach, we played at a high school that had 2 different gyms on their campus, and so they welcome their facilities. And at one location in Vegas, we were at like a community center, and then had to travel to the second location, was about 30 minutes away, at a middle school. So, you know, other districts are seeing the need and, you know, how it's helping out their students, because, you know, I know for the Heat, we sponsor banners for our women's, Our Lady basketball team, and we handed out 4 scholarships this year, which we will continue to do to our seniors that are graduating that have been in this program. We have students that have left Ridgecrest and have made it onto, and making a name for themselves in the college realm. So, like, this program doesn't just help our students here, but it's continuing them outside of Ridgecrest, bringing Ridgecrest out, like, you know, representing Ridgecrest in a better way than, let's say, the person from years ago that, you know, licked all those things at Taco Bell. You know, like, that'll put Ridgecrest out there, but probably not in a positive way. Like our girls that are representing Ridgecrest out in the college playing basketball. Just, you know.
Thank you.
Yes.
I just have one quickie. I'm looking at the schedule, and it doesn't look like, at Channel Lake Junior High, there's only the classrooms and the multipurpose room. Is the gym intentionally left off there because it's a new facility, or was it just
I
omitted?
believe it's because we use it fully, and so
Okay.
there, we may add some as we go forward. I know not every single space is here, but
Okay.
it's the spaces that we have available to use, and we're using our gyms pretty extensively, which is, I think, why Monroe becoming potentially available was more of interest. Did you find it on there?
Yeah.
Okay, it might be on there, okay.
No, I'm looking at Channel Lake Junior High. Oh, that's Monroe. That's Monroe. No, Monroe's on there. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes total sense.
Yeah,
That's the
so-
reason Burroughs Gym is not on there either, right?
Right, right.
Okay.
The field is there for Burroughs, so
The gymnasium is on
we
there.
put the places that are more likely available to start with.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the board?
I'm curious if we have a sense that, of any specific reason that our fees might be more costly to us in our community. Is it air conditioning? Is it, you know, what construction costs? Are there specific kinds of sense that we may have that we are, and are we disproportionate to other, I guess is my question.
I don't know that we've done a comparison
Mhm.
with others. I also don't know how carefully others have updated their
Right.
policy. So having been a district that hasn't had this until recently, we're trying to get caught up and be current. And if, for example, I've been in districts that have had these fees, you know, for a decade, if they didn't update them in a decade,
Right.
it could also be part of it. And then the Civic Center Act does not require a district to charge, right? So if we weren't in declining enrollment, structural deficit, et cetera, the board could decide, we're not going to charge the fees, right? It's just, this is the situation that we're in. We haven't done a full comparison with others, and we could certainly do that.
But we feel confident that the numbers we have are truly what our costs are, correct?
Yes.
Because to me, that's the issue. Letting others use our facilities, if it costs us and it has to come out of our operational budget, I can't accept that. And if we've done our homework adequately, and this really is what the cost is, if we allow them to use by others, then that's the numbers, and that's what we'll have to do, because as you say, we're facing some challenges ahead of us. And I don't believe that I can look our parents in the eye and say, no, we're doing everything we can to contain costs if we're not doing that. So I guess if you feel confident that that's exactly what we are doing, and these numbers have been researched well and are what the costs are to us, then I believe I am obligated to support that.
Anybody else? Okay, at this time, we'll take a vote, a preferential vote from our student board member.
Aye.
And Ford?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? At this time, motion passes 5-0. We'll move on to number 8, Educational Administration, approval of agreement with Code to the Future. Dr. Savko.
Good evening, President Campbell, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Moore, staff, and community. The California Department of Education recognizes computer science as an essential component of a broad education, containing necessary foundational concepts and corresponding practices that generate opportunities for success in our increasingly competitive, globally connected economy. In an effort to expand access to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, also known as STEM, and computer science, an agreement with Code to the Future for pilots at 2 elementary schools, Fowler and Las Flores, has been proposed. The proposed pilots align with the board objective, engage students, as well as many of our Portrait of a Graduate attributes, such as innovative problem solvers, communicators, and collaborators. In addition, this agreement aligns with our current rally cry, which is inspiring and empowering students towards a future of purpose. The agreement includes year 1 and year 2 implementation plans per school site, which basically entails 35 days of on-site CTTF coaching, delivering the instruction in this program, including the curriculum, content, lesson plans, epic builds, and other proprietary materials. It's the same for year 2. And then in years 3 through 5, as the baton gets passed to the site teachers where we're building capacity, then those entail 4 days of like professional learning off-site and then continued coaching and support as needed. There is a cost associated with this. It is $200,000 for years this year, 26-27, $200,000 for 27-28, and then $3,000 per site for the years 3, 4, and 5 through the year 2030-31, for a projected total of $418,000. What's important to know is that this will be funded with one-time funds, not general fund, primarily the Learning Recovery Emergency Block Grant. It is recommended that the board authorize this agreement with Code to the Future as presented.
Thank you, Dr. Sauer. Do we have a motion?
Move the recommended action.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions from the board or statements?
I just had one. I appreciate that we're doing it at 2 schools that don't already have STEM and kind of already integrated in their program as much as others do. So it's nice that we're including other schools in this program. So, thanks.
I just think that it's always great to find different ways that we engage in students and educate them. And I think it's so important that our kids see different ways that they're taught. And everybody learns differently, and so if this helps many of our students, that's awesome. And I'm glad to see that it's from a block grant, and it looks like we don't have to pay a whole lot the last 2 years of it, which is very nice too. So, thank you, Dr. Safko. Any questions from the staff or community? No? At this time, we'll take a vote. Our student board members, Shade?
Aye.
Aye. Rest of the board? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passed 5-0. Actually, it should be 6-0 because we got you in there, Shade, so. Okay. We'll go on to point 2, approve of resolution 022627, course-based independent study courses, and certify the listed course-based independent study courses. Dr. Safko again.
The overall theme here is this is a compliance item. It's required by Education Code 51749.5. It requires an annual certification of our course-based independent study courses. And if you recall, about 2 years ago when we were launching the High Desert program, the board voted to approve the Edgenuity courses. And so that's what you see here as well. So the inclusive subsection 4A indicates that the local agency governing board resolves that course-based independent study are equivalent classroom-based courses and shall be aligned to all relevant local and state content standards. There aren't any financial implications, and it's recommended that you approve the resolution as presented.
Move recommended action.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions from the board? Staff or community? This time. We do? Oh, you're welcome. We'll have a preferential vote from our students. Shade?
Aye.
Aye. Rest of the board, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. We're a little off time today on this. I can't even get the words out of my mouth and you guys. We'll move on to 9, Personnel Administration. Point 1, approval of memorandum of understanding with the Desert Area Teachers Association title agreement regarding elected union officer time based on Education Code 44987. Mr. Auld.
President Campbell, Superintendent Dr. Moore, Deputy Superintendent Dr. Savko, board members and staff and community. Under Education Code 44987, the president of the exclusive representative data has a right to be released from her duties as a certificated employee of the Sierra Sands Unified School District to conduct association business on a leave of absence without any loss of pay or benefits. In addition, under Education Code 44987, SSUSD is entitled to reimbursement by data for this requested statutory leave of absence. The MOU that's included in your packet is the agreement between Data and the district that speaks to this very issue. And it will allow Data President Cheyenne Regan time to do union business weekly. And the agreement is for the 2026-2027 school year. There are no financial implications. It's recommended you approve the memorandum of understanding with Desert Area Teachers Associations entitled regarding elected union officer release time based on Education Code 44987 as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions from the board?
I've got a comment. I truly understand that and appreciate the work that you do in that. And it sounds like the district, you guys are going to work together to have this, trying to have the same substitute each time to have that continuity with the kids and stuff. And it was just nice to hear that, so.
Anybody else? Staff or community? Okay, at this time, we'll take our student vote.
Aye.
And the rest of the board, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 6-0, and we'll move on to point 2, 9.2, approval of, oh, excuse me, that was pulled. Thank you, Dr. Moore. We'll move on to 3, approval of memorandum of understanding with the California School Employees Association and its Chapter 188 for the implementation of the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program ELOP for the 2026-2027 year. Mr. Auld.
So the district has implemented the ELO program for the past year. Prior to implementation, the district and CSEA negotiated an MOU regarding the conditions of their work. That MOU sunsetted at the conclusion of the 25-26 school year and must be renegotiated for 26-27. We've reached agreement, a tentative agreement with CSEA on the MOU defining the ELOP and CSE employees' conditions of work within. It's included in your board packet for review. The changes are in red font, or where language was stricken, it's been stricken. Fiscal implications are unknown and will depend on variables such as continued state funding and student enrollment. Costs will be paid for through the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program grant. It's recommended that the board approve the memorandum of understanding with CSEA regarding the ELOP as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions from the board? From the staff or community? This time we'll take a vote. Shade?
Aye.
Board? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 6-0. We'll move on to number 4. Mr. Auld, you're going to be up here a long time, it looks like. Approval of job description for instructional aid, general education.
So in our last board meeting, we brought to you 2 new positions, instructional aid, mild to moderate, and then instructional aid, moderate to severe. This is the instructional aid general education. This is an outcome of the work that was done between the district and CSEA in agreement in our collective bargaining agreement that we would revisit certain job titles, responsibilities, and make recommendations to the board. So the general education instructional aid position will only be assigned at this point to transitional kindergarten classrooms. Education code maintains that TK classroom caseloads are not to exceed a ratio of 10 students to 1 adult and not to exceed 24 total students. The teacher and a general education instructional aid will allow us to have a classroom with up to but no more than 24 students. The instructional aid general education position will be placed on the salary schedule at range 14. Position had previously been the paraprofessional 1, which was compensated at range 13. Consequently, there will be a fiscal impact which will be provided through the applicable special education, unrestricted and other program funding sources that support these positions. It's recommended that the board approve the job description for instructional aid general education as presented.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions from the board? Staff or community? This time we'll take a vote. Shade?
Aye.
Rest of the board, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. We'll move on to point 5, approval of classifications committee's recommendation for the job descriptions and classifications for child nutrition services.
So the background information remains the same, however, with regards specifically to child nutrition services. The scope of work has evolved significantly. We're not relying primarily on traditional heat and serve foods. The CNS department now prepares meals from scratch. This shift has increased the complexity of operations and requires CNS employees to manage detailed weekly orders from outside vendors, coordinate critical inventory needs with the central kitchen, and provide operational direction to other CNS employees. It's important that these CNS job descriptions accurately reflect these expanded responsibilities, and this is why we're bringing them to you this evening. So the following changes are proposed. Approval of a new classified job description, child nutrition support staff. This position will replace the 3 existing classifications of child nutrition services worker 1, 2, and 3. The new classification will be assigned to range 14 of the classified salary schedule. The previous rates were as follows. A 1 was a range 10, a 2 was a range 12, and a 3 was a range 14. And so all three of those positions will be eliminated and replaced by child nutrition support staff. To keep things clean, we're asking the board to take action to eliminate those three positions. And then we also would like to retain the existing child nutrition teller job description without modification, except for the classification will be moved to range 16 of the classified salary schedule. It had previously been 12. We're asking that the board approve a revised job description, Child Nutrition Services Assistant Manager, 1, and those are for our satellite kitchens. The revised classification will be assigned to a range 18, and approval of a revised job description, Child Nutrition Services Assistant Manager 2, which these are our cooking kitchens. And this revised classification will be assigned to a range 19 of the classified salary schedule. We're also proposing that the work schedule for this particular position be increased to 7.5 hours per day. Financial implications. With the changes in pay ranges proposed, there will be a financial implication. Employees will be compensated at a higher rate. However, the cost will be covered from Fund 13 and will not come from the general fund. It's recommended that the board approve the classification committee's recommendation for job descriptions and classifications for child nutritional services as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the board? I would like to say that it's awesome that we're realizing that these people are doing a lot more work and a lot more detail, and we're rewarding them with a higher range in salary. So appreciative of that. Ms. Ferris?
That was pretty much what I was going to say. I know,
And I was gonna add on,
I think we look whenever we can for ways to reward folks for what they're doing and can still fit it in a budget that we can afford. And I appreciate your efforts to recognize that and see that happens. So thank you.
I would love to take credit, but credit's due to Sue LeBlanc. I just want to get you out there on TV land, Sue, but Sue has done a tremendous job with the grant funding and being very purposeful with how we spend it in the most efficient and effective ways.
And I just want to add on, it's so nice that we're actually cooking real food back in the kitchens again instead of being open up plastic bags and throwing them in trays. So I really appreciate that we're compensating the staff that's actually, they're actually chefs cooking food now, not just preparing, pre-made stuff. So I think it's great for the kids' nutrition, and it's good that we're compensating the staff that's preparing that. So I appreciate this item.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sue. Appreciate that. Okay, any questions or comments from staff or community? Okay, we'll take. Thank you very much. Oh, you're quite welcome. Okay, we'll take a vote. Shade?
Aye.
Board, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 6-0, and we'll move on to number 6, approval of classification committee's recommendation for job descriptions and classifications for garage technicians.
So here again, the scope and complexity of the work performed in this particular department has evolved significantly as the district's fleet transitions to hybrid, electric, and alternative fuel vehicles. In addition to maintaining traditional diesel buses and vehicles, mechanics are now required to diagnose, maintain, and repair fully electric vehicle systems. This transition requires mechanics to complete extensive specialized training to safely and effectively work with the new vehicle technologies. New tools, new equipment, and technology knowledge required to service these vehicles have also changed substantially. And then in addition, mechanics are now required to maintain the California Air Resource Board, or CARB, like carburetor, I guess, certification for emissions, testing, and compliance. We currently have approximately 92 vehicles that our two garage technicians are responsible for maintaining. That doesn't include any of our tractors and mowers and all of those things. So the following changes are proposed. Approve two new classified job descriptions, Garage Technician 1 and Garage Technician 2. These classifications will replace the existing Auto/Diesel Mechanic 1 and Auto/Diesel Mechanic 2 classifications. The Garage Technician 1 will be assigned to range 29 of the classified salary schedule, replacing the auto diesel mechanic 1, which is a current 26. And then the garage technician 2 will be assigned to range 35 of the classified schedule. It's currently at 33. We would also like to eliminate the auto diesel mechanic 1 and 2 classifications. These classifications will be replaced. So we'd like to clean that up at the same time. We'd like to retain the existing lead garage technician classification. The job description will remain unchanged. However, the classification is moved to range 39, previously at range 34. Financial implications with the changes in pay ranges proposed, there will be financial implications. However, there are currently 2 district employees serving in the proposed positions. They will be compensated at a higher rate. It's recommended that the board approve the classification committee's recommendation regarding garage technicians as presented.
Recommend action. Second. We have a motion and a second. Any questions from the board? Comments? I don't know how they do it. 92, 2 technicians for 92, but that's very impressive. Well done. Any questions from the community or staff? Okay, at this time we'll take a vote. Shade?
Aye.
All in favor from the board?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 6-0. And we'll move on to number 7, notification of additional adjustments of salary compensation for classified employees for the 2026-2027 school year.
So really the purpose of this agenda item is that the board has to take action to adopt salary schedules for them to be qualified and eligible for Cal PERS. And so all of those changes that I just mentioned and that you approved are now recognized in a new salary schedule that needs to be formally adopted so that we are in compliance. So financial implications, updating the salary schedule has no additional fiscal implications beyond those already approved by the board. It's recommended the board approve the additional adjustment of salary compensation for classified employees commencing in the 2026-2027 school year as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the board? From staff or community? This time we'll take a vote. Shade?
Aye.
All in favor on the board?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 6-0. We'll move on to number 8. You're almost done, Mr. Auld. Waiver request enabling the district to assign individuals in certificated positions without appropriate credentials.
So approval of the governing board is required when a district is filing for a variable term waiver, a provisional internship permit, or a short-term staff permit. In order to assign an individual who is not appropriately credentialed for his or her assignment, you can see the list there. It's quite a bit shorter list than we've had in the past. You can see what the subjects are, and it's published in the agenda. There are no financial implications. It's recommended the board approve the submission of requests for variable term waiver, provisional intern permit, or short-term staff permit in order that the above-named individuals may be assigned in the designated positions for the 26-27 school year.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions from the board?
Not so much a question as a comment. I appreciate you calling out there the length of that list. And I would like to just comment that I believe that's obviously due to a lot of work on your part and your department's part and the folks who have upped their game as far as their credentials are concerned. And in the end, it's to the benefit of our students. So thank you for that effort and on all parties concerned. Thank you.
Yeah, many people that don't have a credential and have to get it during I think they have up to 5 years to get their clear credential, and they got to do it while they're working, 7, 8 hours and doing grading and testing and so forth in the evenings, and I remember those days, but that is a big task, and it's great that our list is shrinking. That's an awesome thing. Any questions from the staff or community? This time we'll take a vote. Shade?
Aye.
Board, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 6-0. We'll move to, thank you, Mr. Ald. We'll move to 10, General Administration, Dr. Moore. 10.1, approval of revisions to the board meeting calendar.
Yes, so whenever we change a regular board meeting, the board does take action on that. We don't have to take action on the specials, but we figured since we knew they were coming, we'll just put all three on there. And so you can see a September 15th and a December 15th. Those are both special meetings related to fiscal and budget timelines for approval that we would like to go ahead and put on that schedule. And the big change that we're requesting is moving the regular board meeting scheduled for January 21st 1 week earlier to the 14th to avoid some conflicts. And this main room is available, which is where we like to hold our regular board meetings. So we've already preliminarily reserved that pending this decision tonight. So happy to answer any other questions.
Move the recommended action.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments from the board? Everybody's good? Staff, community? Okay, we'll take a vote. Shade?
Aye.
Board, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 6-0, and we'll move to Construction Administration with Mr. Jeff Moore. Good to see you tonight, Jeff.
Board President, Mr. Campbell, Superintendent Dr. Moore, members of the board, Deputy Superintendent Dr. Savko, special welcome to Shade, up to the dais. Staff and community, any that don't know me, I'm Jeff Moore. I'm the Director of Facilities and Construction. This is my August 2026 update. First, we'll run through several mentions for Dave Andreasen's favorite place have come to pass this evening. Essentially, it's complete. I would use the word essentially because when I was training as a child to potty train, Mama always said, no job is done till the paperwork is finished. And so we're working behind, thank you, Mr. Campbell. We're working behind the scenes to finish that. What started as a dirt field between the campus and the athletics field then added modular building spaces, adding infrastructure throughout the grounds, concrete. I learned what a caisson actually is. Foundations and footings, a whole lot of asphalt, rebar, and sweat equity, down to the smallest things like the natural gas gauge here. If we're gonna put that out where 7th graders can play with it, we need to put a box around it. So all the small things, including all the behind-the-scenes infrastructure, technologies, now we have, and the board decision specifically to make the siding appearance match the rest of the campus. In fact, as Dr. Moore mentioned, we had the GAO come out for the PSMI, Public Schools on Military Installation. They track what are we doing with their money, and they made comment about how the school went together. It matched, and they were pleased with the way that we did that. So bravo, thank you for not having me have to explain something to them. We had occupancy on time, and it's a really beautiful campus. I'm very, very proud of it. From the modular furniture that the teachers can position to accommodate daily lesson plans, to the technology that keeps Sierra Sands students up to speed for the rest of the nation, we're doing these kiddos proud. Speaking of pride, we had Kevin out there in the 150-degree weather we have out here in Ridgecrest at the China Lake Junior High, earning and has been awarded. So we displayed with pride the California Department of Education Purple Star badge. Now that's 3 schools, I think, in our district. I wonder who could be next. Briefly, at Burroughs High School, the N building and the old library were really showing signs of their age and the way we're using the resources we have for the student body's current needs. In fact, the library functioned, never mind about those delightful mustard-colored shelving, but it was run down, it was shabby. And so we packed the books and the curriculum, and we converted part of the N building to house the new library space, including a dedicated functional curriculum space, sleek black shelving, and we actually have a new circulation desk that Ashley's like, is it here yet? Is it here yet? It's on order, and it'll replace the jumbled medley of desks that we previously used. The rest of the N building, you see this separation, this wall did not exist. It was just one great big room. Now we have a smooth concrete floor ready to take on the
the mats for our wrestling. Meanwhile, the old library space, a new wall in the doorway are in place to separate the two functioning sections. And the larger half of the old library space, now 3/4-inch rubberized flooring is installed from wall to wall. The image below is our current athletic equipment cage that we have on campus outside right now. It looks like the equipment is much older than it actually is because it's weathered here in Ridgecrest. Well, now the athletes can look forward to what we're going to be doing, procuring new and specialized equipment that they can keep inside, protected from the elements here in Ridgecrest, and not worry about chipping the weights on the concrete when they drop a set. The Pierce 2 project is moving forward. Much of the action right now is non-visible work, permits, planning, working with the DOD, PSMI, and DSA, and all the other departments that have a list of their own things we're satisfying. From CAD drawings of fence installation to scheduling seismic trenching and soil inspections, we're in the thick of setting this project on the right trajectory to give our kiddos the best possible campus while staying true to our Measure AA promises and how we're spending every dollar on that. Richmond is just one example of the rabbits we pulled out of hats over the summer. I've got to give kudos to the M&O department. Here we had cars slightly bending rules and buses unable to bend around turns, and we corrected 2 birds with a single stone on that one. Lane corrections with KRLs and reminder signs that we're a school campus, not a big shopping mall. Because of time, I won't explain what a shopping mall is. But for those of you who have been in Ridgecrest, I go by. I'm really pleased with how some of the traffic has been corrected. We have a great team pressing forward with our part of the district's vision by providing and maintaining facilities that help grow a community of engaged students, connecting to future opportunities through innovative education. It's part of everything we do.
Thank you. Jeff, does anyone have any questions? No? Okay, thank you. We'll move on to, since we have no business administration, we'll move down to 13. And we'll temporarily adjourn the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees to enter into the annual Kern Schools Financing Authority Board of Directors meeting. I call to order the meeting, and I'd like to call the annual Kern Schools Financing Authority Board of Directors meeting. Adoption of the agenda. The first item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda for today's workshop. Are there any changes?
No changes.
No changes? Okay, the agenda will stand as presented. Are there any changes to the approval of minutes?
No.
No? Hearing none, the minutes stand as presented. And if we don't have any questions, we'll close the meeting at 7:36 and move back into resume the regular board meeting. And we'll move to 14, consent calendar.
I'll move the entire consent calendar.
We have a motion and a second to move the consent calendar. Any questions from the board? From staff or community? Okay, future agenda. Any items for future agenda?
Yes, I have one. We were asked by a community member to add the data center to a future board agenda. So we are in the works on that. Just note that we are also staying current on that topic, engaging with city leaders. I do that regularly, and they've been going deep into all of that information. So staying current on that, checking with legal as well as to the relationship of the school district and all of this. So it may be a moment before it gets on the agenda, but just a note that we are working on that, and we will see it on a future agenda.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
President Campbell?
Yes.
And looking for consensus, it might just be me, but on 9.5, we're talking about the meals from scratch. We have our increased costs, time, effort, money. I think it's been a few years since we've looked at our meal costs. It's free. Is everything completely free?
Yes, everything is completely free by the state of California.
Okay, all right, then it doesn't matter.
We can double the
That's why
cost
we
then.
haven't had any changes.
We can double the price then, right?
Yes, yes.
Free meals for
Well, I think we
meals
have to
for
triple it then.
Okay.
No need to put that on future agenda.
No need. Okay, if there's no other agenda items, I'd like to, 16, launch. And this quote comes from Benjamin Franklin, and it deals with engaging students. Tell me and I'll forget. Involve me and I will learn. Benjamin Franklin. So at this time, we'll close the Sierra Sands Unified School District meeting, and thank you all for coming tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they just got over.